Tax happy hour. Dig.
Yo, started right on time today. Take that,
Yeah.
clocks. The clock
Suck
union
it.
unified against happy hour, constantly picketing our show, saying happy hour. It's not an hour. An hour's a real word. It has meaning. And we're like, screw you, clocks.
No, an hour is what your heart thinks it is. That's the way I see it.
Also, for anybody watching on video, my chair wheel ran over the wire,
Cord?
the umbilical
Oh, the
tether.
worst.
Yeah, right.
The worst.
Got it all scooped up in there and just sort of flopping around. Ugh. Hey, what's the biggest disappointment of a Christmas gift you ever got?
Biggest disappointment. I mean, I would assume the biggest disappointments probably came when I was a kid and I was very specifically expecting a thing, but there was never a moment where I was like, had that at least that I can remember that I had my heart so dead set on something that my parents hadn't also effectively like broken the expectation before another thing came.
Yeah.
I have so many more memories of like getting the unexpected gift. Like one time I went up to do Christmas with my aunt and uncle, and we were pretty specifically a just Sega Genesis household. And then we also got a Super
TurboGrafx
Nintendo.
6. Oh.
No, yeah, come on. What kind of dinglings get TurboGrafx 16? What are you, bonk fanboys?
By the way, that's what we did all yesterday was play Bonk. One of the things that we recovered from Jay's apartment is he had gotten like a modern, one of those emulators, like a
nice.
miniature TurboGrafx 16, and it had both that and a bunch of the PC Engine stuff. And so I introduced my kids to a bunch of the games that I loved as a teenager. It's so weird for me to wrap my mind around the fact that when I got the TurboGrafx 16 CD-ROM, I was the same age as Penny. And it's like I had to like just imagine how amazing this seemed in a world of chiptunes being not a choice but a limitation. You know,
exactly.
It's
and meanwhile, it's like a fourth as impressive graphically as Candy Crush.
Yes. No. That's generous.
Yeah.
Like I mean that fidelity. But at any rate, so you were Genesis, and then you got a Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just all to say that was like a delight. Like I thinking back, I can remember that as like, all right. But yeah, other than that, it's I don't know. I guess I haven't really had a whole lot of expectations for Christmas because like disappointment would be a function of misdelivered expectations, right?
Right. Well, the closest thing I could think of happened at an age where I started to chill out a bit about Christmas, and the big gift I got was one of them was like a travel bag that weirdly enough, 25 years later, is still being used to hold like various show props or whatever. And it was only like 2 months later that we found out that, oh, this is one of those twice clever by half moments where mom and dad gave us travel bags for Christmas because we're going on a trip. And we went on a ski trip in February or whatever. So even then it's like, it's hard to really register that as a disappointment.
Oh, yeah. I guess really there was a disappointment that I'm now remembering that we're talking about it, where it was more of a confusion initially that I was very much into Green Day, and my Uncle Bilbo, just shows up, obviously having just gone to Target or Walmart or Best Buy like an hour before coming by our house for Christmas. With a barely wrapped, he might have even just handed me a bag with CDs in it. And he got me green jelly.
Oh no.
And
well, I mean, I guess what's funny is I started to say, oh no, but then I was like, good.
Well, and then I listened to Green Jelly and I loved it. And it was only later that I'm like, why the fuck? Like, because I know my Uncle Bilbo, my Uncle Bilbo is like, not into that kind of music. He's got a really cool taste in music, but it's a very like 70s, like 80s, like kind of vibe. And I then later found out I'm like, why did he get me that? I asked my mom, and she's like, oh, because you love Green Day. And I'm like, that's not Green Day.
It
And
did
she's
have the
like,
word
oh,
green.
yeah. And so I think he just went in and was just like, hey, I need, where's the green? It's the green something. Just get me the green thing. And that was it.
That's another thing that I ran across going through Jay's stuff was the original promo CD that Green Jello at the time, before they became Green Jelly,
Yeah.
handed out at San Diego Comic Con. I think we talked about this. But yeah, no.
But yeah, no, that green jelly album rules.
Oh yeah, no,
They're
well,
great.
and we've I know we've talked about this, but it's so amazing to me that they walked right past the fact that they were good musicians and instead decided like our gimmick will be we're the world's first video album, and they put all this effort into the videos, and the videos, maybe one of them people remember the Three Little
Yeah.
Pigs or whatever, but everything else nobody remembers the videos, even though like it's the music that survives. That's so wild.
Totally. But I think that was, and even then, I liked it when I got it. I loved it when I listened to it, and then I found out that it was the wrong thing. And even then, it was like, I appreciated being turned on to a new band more than I enjoyed, like Kerplunk, which was like the only Green Day album that I didn't have, and so either he would have gotten me an album I already had, or like I eventually listened to Kerplunk, and it was good. I mean, it wasn't, Dookie, which was like my favorite album at the time. So I greatly preferred that Green Jelly album. So that would be the only thing that I could think of. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, Christmas has been pretty good.
Yeah, I think I was in my late 20s when I believe in my late 20s was the first time I was able to easily get a good night's sleep on Christmas Eve. Like I had whatever that anticipation virus is, the thing that's celebrated in various songs and whatever.
Yeah,
I had it so bad. Spoiler alert, also chronic insomniac.
Yes.
It was a thing to obsess about. And I never had a peaceful night's sleep until it was my late 20s that I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'll get some stuff tomorrow, whatever. And it's like, if I did, it was almost like a kindness. The times that, I don't know, 3 or 4 years growing up, there would be a reasonable excuse to sort of declare Christmas Eve as the Christmas day or whatever. But it's like, as a kid, like, man, I would just get so wound tight about the anticipation, and probably in an unhealthy way. And it's only now looking back at it that I'm like, yeah, mom and dad were doing me a favor when they were like, hey, let's say we just open everything right now, so you're not freaking out about it.
Yeah. I always wondered how those traditions kind of mold in people, whether or not it's like, oh Jesus, we're torturing our children and they're not getting good night's sleep, and they're like, so let's just open stuff. Or is it just like, oh well, maybe it's like what the family thing is, and some people do like one present on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
like they'll do like the big present.
We did that. I believe the year that we got the Boglins, that was the Christmas Eve
that was
present.
the big one.
Yeah.
Now, for the Christmas Eve present, would it be the headliner, or would it be like the semi-main eventer that would get open?
Well, the headliner was always Santa, right? So nobody like whatever the headliner was, it wasn't under the tree. Like I could identify the human beings who put everything under the tree. And I remember, boy, it might have been the same aunt that gave me, I remember 1982, there was a blizzard and we got Monopoly. So we played Monopoly for the very first time when I was in second grade during the blizzard. And I remember the Boglins in 87, 88, I think, 89. I don't know. But yeah, outside of that, it was, there were fewer options. There was an awful lot, like mom and dad and Santa all kind of showed up the night of.
Gotcha. So the big presents showed up Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
like the ones that you would open Christmas night, they were just like you're opening a present, and so you might get
Right.
pants.
And and I definitely remember coming downstairs Christmas Day, and finding a freaking space shuttle that made sound effects and all that stuff, and I'm like, this is freaking awesome. Therefore, it's for me. And then my mom saying like, well, I'm pretty sure Santa felt like this side was for Jay and this side was for Brian. I'm like, yeah, I dispute your hypothesis because
Yeah.
this space shuttle's fucking rad, and I don't care that it says Fisher Price. I mean, clearly it's meant for me. And then suddenly something shiny happened.
Yeah, dude, it's interesting the politics of Christmas. Ashley's pulling this shit with me where I don't know what, like whether it's a bit or I think she has gift giving anxiety. I don't think she feels like she's a good gift giver, and so she just wants me to open up the present or presents that she's gotten for me immediately. She'll buy it, she'll wrap it, she'll put it under the tree, and then spend the rest of the days leading up to Christmas trying at some point to maliciously trick me into opening like the presents. And I think it's only because she's terrified she's gotten a bad one, and she'd prefer that I open a present until she knows that I'm happy with one.
Well, and I suppose logically, tactically, that makes sense because there's only one day that there's no backseas, and that's Christmas Day. Like
Yeah.
every day up until then, there's a chance to you have a
I mean,
save
like,
game
is
that you could
there-
go back and redo.
Is
yeah.
there like we're living in a life where we could just buy each other whatever? Like there's no rules anymore. We're adults with discretionary income.
It's not the same. I mean, it's the
No, the
it's-
only thing, like honestly, can you remember the last gift that Ashley got me? Because
oh,
I rarely talk about it on the show unless you can.
yes, I do.
What?
It was the Dr. Bird home game in
Yes.
which you got a microphone that did an echo and translated all of your voice words into bird squawks.
Into bird squawks.
Right.
Yeah.
It involved a green marker, which is ironic given what happened to Dr. Bird almost a year later.
Yeah.
And a copy of
True.
Green Jello's premiere album.
Premiere video album, the world's first video album.
Yes, on VHS.
All right, well, you nailed it. I guess I've talked about it more than I thought. No, I mean, because that'd be the only worry. The worry would be that, like, she gets a thing and I'm like, oh, this bitch, you know what she got me? Like garbage. That's what. But like, I'm not going to do that. I haven't done that. So it's like, if she got a thing and it was like, oh, actually I already have this, or there's this, that, and the other, we could just swap it out. It could totally just be a thing between us. But again, much like you not being able to go to sleep, it's not the logic. It's
Right.
It's the anxiety.
Yep. Reasoning has very little foothold in those situations.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if I can read between the lines a little bit, allow me to be the first to say,
Go ahead.
Yes, you can open the gift right now live on the air for everyone.
I'm not. No, fuck that.
I'm sorry.
Are you?
May-
Are you?
Maybe
in
I
league with
wasn't
her?
clear.
Are you in league?
Maybe I
Are you
wasn't
getting
clear.
a kickback?
You have my blessing. I will not stand in the way. I understand.
No, I don't want
you
to.
want
I
it.
like.
She wants
I
it.
like. The
president
opening
wants it.
shit on Christmas. Hey,
The
here,
president
if we
wants it. He said, I want that even more than to remain the president.
I got switching from Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Governor California announced.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
New lockdowns.
Like the real life Grinch.
Right?
He says, I figured out the formula. All you who's in California, Whoville. I figured out how to take away Christmas cheer. Christmas cheer is manufactured when two humans express their love for each other by being within 25 feet of one another.
I literally was about to go into like you're a mean one, Gavin Newsom, before like I just realized that that's almost certainly like a Rush Limbaugh or Glenn Beck song that is being played right now.
I can't be the first person to have come up with that.
No way.
His government grew 2 sizes that day. The taxes were huge.
So there's all these new lockdown things, and there's intricacies that are kind of ridiculous. But uh, the reality of it is that I'm like, fucking A, I'm not going to be able to get a haircut until the 4th of July if I don't get one right after happy
Oh,
hour.
man.
Like,
It's a good
and so
time.
I am going to get a haircut right after this to go take care of it, just because I don't want to be I don't want to be without one until well into spring or summer.
Did there was some moment that I'm trying to be good about waking up early and going and working out or whatever, but there's a bunch of TVs with the closed captioning on or whatever. Today Show, I think. They're talking about how George Clooney is using a Flowbee. Have you seen this?
No.
Yeah, no. George Clooney very proudly says, yeah, dude, Flowbee, it's great. Perfect cut every time. Like unironically telling people that he uses a Flowbee and it's awesome. The punchline of the first Wayne's World opening bit where Garth
It
is having
sucks as it cuts. It certainly does suck.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Gambling Man says Whispers to Justin, Marin County is still open. So this is what they're doing. Brian, you're gonna think this is funny.
Okay.
Governor of California. It's like, look,
Already funny.
being shutting down stuff via county, tired. Wired, shutting everything down based on random groupings of counties. So therefore, if the collective ICU bed, if the ICU occupancy is below 15%, then
Are they juking the stats?
everything shuts down. So dig this. And the word leaked out earlier in the day, yesterday, that California is going to be separated into 5 parts. Now, you know California, like, big state. If you were to think about how to separate things into 5 parts, how would you separate California, knowing the basic geography of it?
Doug, everything north of San Francisco.
Okay.
Melanie, everything south of San Francisco stops at Fresno. Fresno itself is Brett. Everything south of Brett is Greg. And then the dividing line between Greg and Francesco is La Jolla. Everything south of La Jolla is Francesco country.
So here's how they actually did it. Northern California. So
Okay,
that's
north
of the Bay Area,
Doug.
right? So you pretty much got
so
that.
far got it.
Yeah. Then it's the Bay Area. So Napa, San Francisco, Oakland, South Bay, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Here's where it gets a little weird. Sacramento gets its own area. The surrounding environs of Sacramento.
Oh. What's funny is I almost said out loud, what's different about Sacramento? The capital of the seated government. Oh, you.
So we're at 3 already.
Yep.
We're at 3.
Okay. All right.
And by the way, if you haven't, if you're not familiar, go ahead and look at a map. Essentially, California is like the eastern seaboard, like the entire eastern seaboard.
It's a straight up column, man. It's pick your favorite World Trade Center tower, and that's it.
So we have basically 3, and we have like the Carolinas through Florida to go, right? The Central Valley is another one.
Yes. I mean, my joke about Brett aside, like, that does track. I mean, that's sort of the reddest part of a largely blue state, right?
And then the rest is Southern California, which basically means it's a literal U. Like, so the most northern western part of it connects with the Bay Area. The most northern western part of it connects with the San Francisco area, and it includes San Diego, LA, and the Orange County, and like Anaheim, which are like three very distinct major population centers that are all of which bigger than Sacramento.
Okay, hold on. I
You got to see it. The big U just kills me each time. It's just the big condom over the San Joaquin Valley.
All right, here we go. Boom. Oh my God. Yeah.
You.
I mean, it is sort of like just internal organs. There's California, other California, internal organ 1, internal organ 2. I only see 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I missing?
Basically, the graphic of San Joaquin Valley actually obscures the fact that there is a border between Southern California and the Bay Area. So it's Northern California,
Oh, I
Greater
see
Sacramento.
it. I see it now. Got it. Bay Area
Yeah.
is from the Bay Area way on south.
Well, yeah, down to that border right there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sorry,
but then Southern California, just it's as if they like were actually doing a really good job and they got to the San Joaquin Valley and then it was like, fuck, this is due. We got to go live on television. Like, how else do we split it up? I don't know. Just it's all one thing. Like that. I think that's like 3/4 of the population of the state.
Well, and what's funny is I immediately, maybe by design, immediately fell into the question of like, what's fair or right, but I've already forgotten what the point of these divisions are. Like to do what? To decide
So
who gets shut down at any given time?
Yeah,
So
basically.
these are COVID time zones, basically.
Yes. So if it used to be like Gambling Man was saying, oh, in Marin County, we've got different rules than Alameda County where I live. Not anymore. As soon as the collective ICU bed shortage goes down to below 15%, we all get shut down, and it's for a minimum of 3 weeks. And so they were saying all of these zones are probably all going to get locked down within the next couple of days. The Bay Area might have another week or so, but this is the new plan, because shutting down counties not enough. We have to shut down all these counties next to each other, despite the fact that nothing is really more than a 3-hour drive. So if you really wanted to drive somewhere to get it, you could. But I guess people were really, really concerned about like, well, what if bars are still open in some podunk town in California? We got to knock that off.
I mean, I think you kind of nailed it. Like, in a very perverse way, this current setup would seem to, dare I say, incentivize traveling even longer distances to get things that you want.
I just can't get over the U. The U just kills me. It's like, it's so many people. And Sacramento gets it. Sacramento gets their own thing. No one has ever given a shit about Sacramento in terms of anything.
I mean, I suppose Lake Tahoe, per this, it looks as though roughly, imagine Lake Tahoe and imagine San Diego. Now imagine with a straight face a bureaucrat saying, yes, they must both be shut down at the same time, for they both experience the same threat at the same time per the zone ordinance.
Yeah, unless you're in Tahoe and you can literally just go across the border to Nevada.
Well, over there is no problems. Over there you gamble, but with your life.
But yeah, it's insane that Southern California touches both Sacramento and the Bay Area at the same time.
Of course it does.
Oh, so funny. So funny. Anyway, we're about to get shut down. And so I was like, and also they're like, we're going to shut down for a minimum of 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh, I know what that shit means. I know that shit means, they are going to, when they shut down, none of this shit is opening back up for months.
Forever.
Months.
Has anybody thought that maybe one of the largest economies in the United States would remain so if they produced things or had a
Wait.
functioning economy or like shutting just everything down. Like the world's leader in shutting down. We're the best at not doing nothing. That's the
Well,
new leadership that we offer. It's us,
it's
California.
mostly it's the shit that's going to get him yelled at on Twitter that shuts down. Like a lot of other stuff is going to stay open, but it's like outdoor dining is shutting down. Like
Which makes sense because, as we all
salons.
know, coronavirus thrives in breezy outdoor places. That's science based. They believe in science, Justin. They
I don't
believe
wanna-
in
I-
science
yeah.
because they say the words, we believe in science. And as we all know, that is a magic incantation that causes you to be right. And the facts, don't lie.
That causes the science runes to glow.
That's right.
Showing that you have divine favor of Lord Science.
That's right. And especially if you're a city council member that votes to shut everything down, certainly go out the next day to an outdoor venue and eat while you can, because after all, you just voted to shut them down. Might as well get in while the getting's good. The only thing crazier would be if you're the mayor of Austin and you're tweeting how everyone needs to stay home while at a resort in Mexico. What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to
What?
slip into Stossel.
Yeah, that's been a new thing, or predictable, highly predictable. The like rules for thee but not for me hypocrisy of city and state government. We had a big thing with Gavin Newsom a couple of weeks ago where he went out and had a 15-person massive birthday dinner that was only quote unquote outdoors because they had a big sliding glass door open, but they were apparently so fucking loud that they had to close the glass door because other patrons were complaining about how loud they were. So they were then fully inside, and that group included not only Gavin Newsom, but also the health officials that were determining the California health policy. And they were there at a birthday dinner for a lobbyist. It can't get any better. It can't get any better. And then also the next night, the mayor of San Francisco had her own indoor thing as she was shutting down indoor dining in San Francisco.
So question, and this is more not a what should they do, what ought they do, but more of like just we're betting here. We're betting.
Yeah.
How long until the backlash? How long until somebody or a few people of prominence in California say, I literally have the vaccine. I can go anywhere I want. Thank you very much.
They do the Ron Swanson meme and say like, don't worry, I have a permit.
Yeah.
It's just like I do what I want.
Right.
I'm sure that's happening to a certain extent now. Like there have been people throughout this entire process where people have gotten busted for either operating or, because really it's about operating a business. And that's ultimately what a lot of this stuff is about, is like, when they put in the curfew a couple weeks ago, where now in California, you're not allowed to travel between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Like that's not really so they're going to chase everybody off the road. It's so they can pull you over no matter what, and they can just walk into a restaurant and shut it down. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what like the lockdowns are really about.
That's a wise thing to do, by the way. Is what you do is you make everything illegal so that at any given time you can
make the certain things that you want illegal, right?
Yeah.
At the exact time that you want it.
It's also
yeah.
doubly good because it reinforces the trust that the populace has in you as a government official, because people never figure that out. They never figure out when you're fibbing and you're overstating things in order to encourage them to do certain things.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It's so far the lifestyle for which I have created for myself is unaffected. They are not yet banning
First, they
uh,
came for my haircuts, and I did not care, for I do not cut my
the
hair.
haircut, yeah, no, the haircut is going to be the first big one. The haircut, I figured out how to trim my beard by myself, so that's now under control. Um, Now it's a matter of getting the haircut before we go into a long winter's nap on that shit, and then if they ban me being able to walk with alcohol outside, which they technically never made illegal, they never made legal. They just stopped enforcing it. Uh, yeah, if they start writing me, if I get an open container ticket and they stop selling liquor out the front door of all these bars like they're lemonade stands, uh, it was what it
Then
was.
we riot.
Well, then it'll just be so long and thanks for all the fish. It's just like, fuck, we'll just go to Montana or some
I was
shit.
about to
Like,
say Colorado, mighty fine.
well, no, I don't know. We'd have to go to, I'm not fucking with snow. Get that shit the fuck out of here. But
Well, I guess you guys are on the coast. Bay Area never see snow?
hell no.
Huh.
Hell no. I would have to make a lot of money to willingly live in snow.
Yeah, that was one of the weird things is we lived when we lived in Norway, very rarely saw snow, but because we were on the coast, Stavanger was on the coast, which by the way, Bonnie's sort of, you during major life moments, you take stock and it's like, hey, we've always talked about going to Norway. And Bonnie was trying to figure out a way for us to take the whole family to Norway. And I was like, yeah, you and me. And she goes, yeah, and the kids. And I was like, sorry, why would the kids want to go to Norway? It's like, well, because, you live there and it'd be a special thing. And I was like, oh my God, to go through 2 days of travel to get to Norway, like that amount of travel is next level in and of itself. Like I remember going through that when I was my kid's age, when we
Yeah.
moved to Norway, and it was miserable. And it's like to go through all of that so that they could sit patiently while their dad says, and we didn't have McDonald's here now. We only had Wimpy Burger, which is a British brand, and their burgers didn't taste the same as a McDonald's burger. I was just like, I forbid you from putting any effort into making the whole family go with. If you want to come with me to Norway, that will be a kindness you can do, but in no way do I want to subject the children to that level of travel for that disappointing of a Disneyland. Is watching dad walk around in Norway.
But the funny thing is you're totally right if you forced them, and then you're gonna say, nope, you guys, nothing to see here, and they're gonna want to go.
Yeah,
like
shit.
As soon as you're like, and then you can tell them it was their own damn fault. You're like, I tried to save this boring shit from you, but you guys wanted to run headlong into it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty wild. And to some extent, I was really surprised a couple of years ago. I did the Google Earth thing and the ability to travel to, like you could give or take see the house that I spent 7th and 8th grade in. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, shit. I was gonna talk about something and then we got
We were talking about closing down,
further away
how
from
smart it was, shutting down economies, open containers.
I feel bad. I really, really, really feel bad because I don't want to get into the fucking ethics of it or whatever and have us get into a very scholarly debate in Twitch chat. But like,
that's the place for it, man.
I feel terrible for all of these bars and restaurants that just literally like over the last, because we reopened so slowly in Northern California, in the Bay Area, in Oakland, that like they just started getting to the point where I was consistently seeing people at these places.
Yep.
And even like as it got a little colder out here, they got tents, they got big heaters. The Korean place around or down the street from me that was famous for it was Korean barbecue, all you can eat Korean barbecue.
Oh my God. No. We ate there. I believe I was there the day you discovered it. Like it was like, hey, let's try this. And we're like, sure. And we fell in love.
And it was great. So they just in the last 2 weeks had they just had portable things that they were setting outside, and they had little heat things, so people were out there actually doing the Korean barbecue like outside. And now 2 days ago or yesterday, when the news came down, I just saw everybody like stacking the chairs, moving the chairs inside, and I'm
Mm.
like, oh, that is such a fucking bummer, such a bummer. And everybody can decide exactly how necessary it is and whether or not it's scientifically the right decision. I am only focusing from their perspective that it's like we just started like churning again. They just started getting like some kind of regular business again, and it's just like like there's like all these plexiglass stuff that's set up that now it's like, well, I guess we're the fucking kings of plexiglass now. If we want to set up a funhouse maze.
I was about to say a hall of mirrors that kids can
Yeah.
run around and smack their faces into.
But you know, it's dangerous times, right? Everything's spiking, so you know, it is what it is. Not much you can do.
Well, so I don't know. We got 20 minutes here to figure out something happy to be happy
You want
about.
to do a happy
Yeah.
happy thing?
What you got?
Um,
That was by the way, that was a definite firestorm yesterday. That HBO Max stuff. Like I'm still feeling echoes from that.
oh, like the fact that it was just gigantic news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean,
It's like
I think-
imagine if you spent years banging your fist on a table saying they ought to do a thing, and then one day you wake up and it's like the newspaper headline says they did the thing you suggested, pretty much exactly the way you suggested it, without equivocation and without provisos. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
we can talk about the House of Representatives passed a decriminalization of weed bill that will definitely not pass the Senate or get signed by the president. But at least the House put forth an agreement that said that we should decriminalize weed federally.
So, on the weed thing, correct me if I'm wrong. The only reason it's a felony is because the FDA has it on Schedule C, right? Isn't that an FDA decision to take it off Schedule C? That seems like a fairly, and plus also like the rules for what's on Schedule C is very simply no medical benefit whatsoever, extremely dangerous. Like all they have to do is open their eyes and say, yeah, no, that's dumb. Shouldn't have been there. Not on Schedule C.
Yeah, I thought it was Schedule 1, but
Sorry,
still, yeah.
maybe I'm wrong.
But still, either way, it's
Schedule C. Where did I get Schedule C?
I mean,
Schedule
that
C is an IRS form.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking of. You know what? We should put weed. You should be able to pay your taxes in weed.
in weed, dude. Hey,
It's a profit or loss statement.
you can now pay
1040.
you can now pay your taxes by cash,
Schedule
check,
1.
credit card, Bitcoin, or weed, man. Oh shit! I'll fucking trade you
Schedule C.
2 doobies and a nickel bag for my Schedule C, my guy.
Oh my God. Schedule C.
Um,
Yeah, sorry,
yeah,
Schedule 1.
weed should not be criminalized. It shouldn't be a thing that people get all
Holy shit.
get all
Breaking
weird
news.
about.
Also an IRS form. Schedule 1.
Shit. This IRS, man. What the fuck's up with them? They came back asking me for more money yesterday.
What, the weed police?
No, the IRS, the weed police. That's what I call them.
I'm
The
gonna,
weed
I'm gonna
police
type in
emailed me.
schedule weed. Drug scheduling DEA. Drug schedule. Schedule 1. Schedule 1 drugs, substances, chemicals defined as drugs with no currently accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. Examples: heroin, LSD, marijuana. Okay, stop listening.
Ecstasy.
And peyote. Peyote. You know that.
Holy shit. Fentanyl? fentanyl is lower on the list than fentanyl's is a Schedule 2 drug.
And OxyContin and Adderall and Ritalin. Schedule 3.
Wait, cocaine? Cocaine Schedule 2?
Yeah. Wow. Vicodin. Yep.
Damn.
Take that Vicodin. Next thing you know, you're
I should be doing more cocaine.
you're going to be writing blurred lines and then refusing to accept credit for writing blurred lines. Passing the buck.
Exactly. No, I
Schedule 3. Hold on. Now I want to.
oh yeah, let's go.
Schedule 3 is Tylenol with codeine. Ketamine.
Sure.
Ketamine is Schedule 3?
I mean, that's about appropriate.
That's the one where
That's
the
fine.
world goat sees itself and you see into another dimension?
Well, you're tripping in a K-hole, dog. Come on.
Schedule 3? Below
Yeah.
Tylenol with codeine? Oh, no, sorry.
Hasn't been
Equal?
popular. Hasn't been popular since the 90s.
Okay. Testosterone?
So that's steroids. That's what if you're trying to get jacked.
Schedule 4. Xanax. Soma.
Somas.
I don't know.
Ambien.
What's a Soma?
Soma's another like
What's a tramadol?
mood sharpener. Oh yeah, it's a sleep pill.
A mood sharpener. It gets you in
mood
the mood to go to
sharpener.
sleep. Schedule 5, drugs with a lower potential for abuse than Schedule 4. Things with codeine, Robitussin. Wow, this is fucked up. I don't think this is a very good schedule.
I think it's a bad one.
Oh,
The problem is that nobody wants to run on the pro drugs thing. Nobody wants to be like yay drugs.
but isn't this an administrative thing? Like do they? It's not Congress that decides where all these goes. Isn't
No.
it the DEA?
If it's the FDA or the DEA, I'm not sure, but
But somebody who's not elected is my point. Somebody not elected can just shrug.
it would have to. It
and
would likely be
move
somebody
this.
who would be. You would be asked if you're doing that when you're getting confirmed. If you do have to get confirmed for it, I don't know if the DEA has
Colin
to get
J.
confirmed.
Crawford says it is a legislative issue, but I don't know. I have work to do.
Yeah.
My planet needs me. 3 frames of cell animation.
Yeah. So anyway, whatever, dude. Fucking. It turns out, guys, if everybody wants science, I'm a scientist. I've done the science on weed, and I'm here to reveal exclusively my results. It's great. It's awesome.
Literally the least medicinal, most abused, most terrible. I mean, what's funny is, man, I don't even see how OxyContin is Schedule 3 below cocaine.
Fentanyl is something where it's like literally you can fuck up like a dosage and die.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, in that the thing is that yeah, when most people who are dying of fentanyl, like they can't get their hands on the heroin
Narcan
clones.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, this is pretty close. That's it.
Yeah,
That
no,
was them
because
farting.
it's like super powerful. So you wind up having it getting mixed in with shit because then it's like super powerful. But like, yeah, you know, to me, it's fairly transparent that it's a lot more harmful, but and habit forming than weed is. Like,
I mean, at least we know. So what's funny is if it's true that all of this is legislated and not dictated by anybody who's graduated med school, that's worse. That's worse. That means quite literally a bunch of people just saying what that means is drug policy is being determined by the equivalent of somebody on The Price is Right, looking to the audience with their thumb up and then thumb down, listening to how loud they get or don't get about what schedule the drugs go
on. It's a bad way to do it, Brian. It's a bad way to do business.
Okay, all right.
In my opinion, it's no, sir. I don't like it.
We now have 14 minutes to find something to be happy about. I do believe we can do this.
You're the one who brought it in. I thought we could just have a fun weed conversation. You're the one who wanted to bring it into Schedule 1 through 3.
No, I
Like the
tried to bring it in.
government.
I tried to bring it into Schedule C. I tried to let us
You
pay our
tried to make it a
taxes
tax-
and weed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. To the prompt, we need to think of something happy. Brian said, aha, the taxes.
Accurate.
Yeah, what else is going on, man? What else is happening?
I started playing a game that I'm not sure, but I think we might have covered in Game On. I know we definitely talked about the massive Kickstarter for the Double Fine Productions. Wait, Double Fine, is that right? The guys who
Yeah.
do the adventure games, and then out of that, like the next follow up was the guys who did Wasteland, kickstarted Wasteland 2,
Yeah.
and I did go as far as buying it, installing it on the PC, starting to play it. Turn-based strategy game. I know what those are. Those are things that make hours vanish like that. That's something I should play while I'm exercising. And then turns out was never on a device that I could do that with. And then finally I pulled out Jay's Switch, and yesterday I installed Wasteland 2, and today I brought it to the gym. I said, here's the game. I'm going to start working out on the bike, and I'm going to play Hearthstone until it gets boring, like 30 minutes in, like it always does. Then I'm going to switch over, and I've got the Switch here, right? And I'm going to play Wasteland 2. Played Hearthstone for an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
just
Sometimes you hit
in front of the Switch, which, by the way, the screen on a Switch, almost exactly the size of the screen on the 11 Max. The iPhone.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, this is a pretty beefy fucker.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah.
Banana for scale.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, man. Fucking video games, dude. I don't know. I Hearthstone has been okay to me so far. I'm like slicing my way up the ladder. I think I've got a bit of a handle on this deck finally.
Which one? This is the mage that casts
Secret
spells.
Secret mage.
Oh, got it.
Secrets.
The magician. Oh, you know what? Nope, not a happy thing. Sorry, go ahead.
My wife's drunk right now. That's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had a holiday party at 11 o'clock in the morning, local time. And so she like came in while I was streaming and was just like she had the telltale, like we've got like a whiskey glass and we have like these big ass whiskey cubes. And I'm just like the fuck, woman, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Like, then again, a week ago during Thanksgiving, I was definitely drinking at 11 o'clock in the morning. So, I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I mean, also, thanks, Newsom. Wait, Gavin Newsom? That's his name. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Newsom.
She also. Here's. I don't know if it's funny, but it's a story with a punchline. So, there's no hot water in my building right now. Hasn't been hot water in my building for 3 days. This is day 4. And yesterday, we were told that it was fixed. The hot water was fixed. But since our hot water heater, it's going to take time for the hot water heater to get hot water, because our hot water heater is powered by solar panels, and it has not been sunny enough to heat our hot water.
Okay.
Now, we have never had a problem before, but it is definitely a very Bay Area thing to be told that only when the sun shines high enough will you be able to have hot water.
So, when you say heated by solar, like, are we talking about solar panels collect energy, then use that to heat filaments that heat water, or are we talking about the thing where it's like, you went and you got a bunch of PVC pipes, you did them in a up down up down up down, you painted it all black, and that warms it up pretty much.
I don't know for sure. You've been up on my roof and you've seen the solar panels that are
Okay,
that are up there. But
if they're actual panels, then
there's
yeah.
actual panels.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
No, the entire roof
That would be a
is
really
in,
weird way, because like you're taking solar heat, and rather than using solar heat to heat water, you're taking solar heat, translating it into electrons sorted into positives and negatives, and then using them to heat a filament to heat. Like, what's next? You gonna pay your taxes with weed? Come on.
Schedule C.
Because schedule THC. Come on. Oh, how do we walk past that?
Oh shit, I'm in the green, dog.
Oh man, no.
Puff, deduct.
All right, you know what? We're not going to do better than that, so I'm going to call it. We'll end up a bit early. Thank you to everybody who joined us. We love you guys. See you this Monday.
Happy hour. Night Tax Happy Hour. Night Tax Happy Hour. Dig.
Thanks, Newsome.